Hey, welcome to the Mythical Garden. I'm your host, Gianna. This is my co-host and godfather, Joey.
So,
We are the Mystic Mentors, and today we're going to be talking about possessions. So, bendición.
Santo, possessions. Ooh, the spooky don't talk about stuff.
I
Yeah, it's a funny topic too. I'm gonna tell you why.
Mhm.
I've been watching a lot of different I'm trying not to watch the news. Don't want to hear about the news. I warned everybody, we've been talking about it. I
Mhm.
said 2025 gonna be a rough one. The Rishas don't want to come down for 2025.
It
Then
is,
there's that reason why.
it is so funny because after the whole election results, and I was like, "Can I take me with you?"
But I want to come back, but just
I
don't
want to
take me
come back
forever.
so I can look down at them and be like, "Ha ha."
You know, I feel sorry for us.
I do.
As a whole, I feel sorry for us. We love to grab the rock and hit ourselves in the same spot over and over again just to see how much it takes.
Like fucking
And
children.
this is the wrong rock we picked up. Now I'm not going to say either side was the best choice, but we had a lot better standings to be a great nation standing behind her than him.
Hmm.
Day one, mass deportations. But I told you idiots that voted for him that shouldn't have.
Not only
Because
mass.
it does not mean people without green cards. It means anybody with this color skin, you're a target for 4 years. And
Mhm.
you better hope in 4 years he don't destroy the Constitution and invoke himself as the supreme leader. And then he's there till the day he dies, and then one of his kids take over. Red Dawn, nigga, Wolverine.
It's funny because I was just telling my mom about that Red Dawn, and it's funny you said that too because a lot of people are just stupid. I'm sorry to say, a lot of people are just stupid.
Well, ignorance is bliss, and people have to learn from their mistakes. A kid
I-
doesn't learn not to fall if they don't fall. You know
mm,
what I'm saying? And real talk. Watching a lot of the after the day after the election, I just wanted to watch the news for 10 minutes.
mhm.
So they showed something like I'm gonna say 15 clips of the man back to back to back. I swear to God, that man's possessed with the devil.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
really feel that he has such a hatred for the world and love for just himself. And the people that have fallen for the misinformation that he has put out and the disinformation, listen, like I said, neither one of them would have been the best choice, but at least we would have a safer choice with her.
I just
And
want
that's my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But I'll be damned if I'm going to keep having people call me a fucking Puerto Rican.
I just gonna say the people that call him the savior, y'all disrespectful to Jesus, highly disrespectful to Jesus, because what y'all need to be calling him is the Antichrist, because that's what he is.
And
He's gonna.
and if you watch the videos that I'm talking about, this man is a different person in each one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like in the old school vampire movies when you stand in the vampire's eyes and he wooed you. That man's mouth was wooing crowds of hate,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just it's a white hate. It's a wave of white hate. And I'm sorry, but minorities, we in trouble.
I call it the white mentality.
And stupid. If they take taxes out of overtime, you don't think they're gonna take more taxes out your income tax at
First of
the end
all,
of the year?
first of
You
all,
don't think they're gonna offer you more overtime with no tax on it? Your ass gonna work 40 hours a week.
included not only that, like the people like, oh, we're not getting taxed on overtime, but you don't understand it. If you're making less than 400K, all the tax cut that he did for his little rich friends are being fallen onto you. So if you are 30,000 below, you're getting taxed 700 extra dollars on
We
top
getting
of you
taxed.
getting taxed.
I'm all minorities getting taxed out your butt. Wait till January. Wait till you go file for your income tax and you see the outrageousness.
I don't hear no crying. That's all. I don't want to hear no crying.
Listen, we live by it. We got 4 years to find somebody else to vote for. And if they vote him in again, because he can run again and vote and come in again.
Y'all vote him in again. Y'all gotta line up your fades for me because at this point, I have nothing else to do but beat your ass. Because it's like, yo, And it's like he says the quiet part out loud. He tells you his agenda. All right, now we have Matt Walsh, whatever the fuck his name is, talking about since the election is over, we can finally say Project 2025 was an agenda all along. First of all, Matt Walsh, if I ever see you, I'm gonna throw the hands with you. I'm gonna throw the hands with you because for you to have the balls to say that, and then everybody has been saying it, and now you admit it, we're gonna have to throw the hands for that.
It's 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 wild. It's about and this ain't even the January 22nd, January 21st, 22nd. Wait, just wait till inauguration day. Cause right there in the inauguration, watch what he's gonna do. I'm calling it now.
Mm-hmm.
Watch what he's gonna say and do when he gets inaugurated.
And
No, 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 no. Wait, 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 wait,
huh?
wait, wait. Wolverines. If we ain't got planes and helicopters flying over our head with red stars on them first.
Man, and not only that.
I had a bunch of kids, right? Hold on, a bunch of kids, right? And I know the subject of this episode is possession, but real quick, so we can get it out of our systems. So there's a bunch of kids that come in at night, and they're repetitive. You know, they're what they call them, regulars.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Ray. So one of them, I think he's the oldest. He goes, and they're a cool bunch of kids, man. They're young, but we all remember what it was like when we was in our teens. They're
Mm-hmm.
like 19, 20, around there. And the oldest one's like 20 going on 21. And they were talking about, Trump getting elected. And now the oldest one, who's also the darkest one, the blackest one, says, and I quote, "Oh, if we would have voted for her, we would have been in trouble." I said, "Little man, you have no idea what you're in for in the next 4 years with the color of your skin. But you're gonna find out."
Mm-hmm.
See, everybody didn't vote for her. And just like at my job, and I'm gonna say this now, and I'm gonna put this up so that my coworkers can see it. Ain't nothing wrong with a woman being in power.
Look at
I
Mexico.
would I would rather serve a woman president than a male president any day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that my boss is a female and a strong female at that. I think she's lenient with everyone, and that's cool. You want everybody to be like a work family, but don't let nobody tread on you. And I'm sorry, that macho shit. I'm being real. You could see it around me, and I'm like, not just with coworkers, with customers. Like the macho fucking bullshit. Your
Mm-hmm.
balls ain't bigger than the world, nigga.
Yeah.
Step back a little bit because a woman had you and a woman raised you. And if your mom wasn't there to raise you, your dad did it, and he was the man and the woman of the house. Therefore, y- every man has a female side in them. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care who you are. If you enact it and you live it, that's on you. You want to dress up, that's on you. Whatever, whatever. But every man has to have masculinity and femininity. And if you don't, you too fucking macho and you get shit on the low.
It's funny you say that because y'all, there's a lot of gay men on TikTok saying if you want a deal, they will expose you. And honestly, truthfully, I have no problem with that because most likely y'all voted for this to hide to say I'm a man, I'm an alpha man. First of all, get out of here. And second of all, as a collective, I feel like we're not mad enough because we all watched this election. We all watch him win states at 0% counted. If that's not something funny or funky or fishy or rigged, I don't know what it is. Because 0% not counted and he's already elected for that state.
I'm telling you, when he started saying, "If I don't win, this election was rigged," is because he already rigged it. They
Yeah.
did it. They did it before.
Mm-hmm.
They did it in
2016.
20. No, 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 2016. But they did it again in 2020, and it failed.
Mm-hmm.
That gave them 4 years to redo it and do it right. And I'm telling you, this shit was rigged somehow.
It has to be because we got all these people are still saying their ballots aren't haven't been counted. They've been put on pause. Um, some people who asked for absentee only got envelopes, nothing in there. People was flying from Switzerland.
They were setting ballot boxes on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. They told you everything if you didn't catch it then. Catch it now.
Like, we don't need your votes because we already win. Me and Mike Johnson.
And I'm sorry, this does not make her look any better. That when she conceded, she said we lost the battle but not the war. Listen to me.
We lost the war.
On January 21st, when that man gets inaugurated, she better run.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband better lead the country because he's gonna throw you out if you don't.
And then on top of that, I'm not afraid to say this.
Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden better pardon his son. His
Mm-hmm.
son's looking at her. He better pardon his son. Because if not, and he better write Nancy Pelosi a pardon, and Kamala better get a pardon, and anybody that stood behind them better get pardons out the government. Because if I was told that everybody that voted for her or spoke against him, your name's on the list somewhere. And literally, somebody in detail explained this. And I can't say who it was. I'm just gonna say they were law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
And your name's on the list. If you publicly spoke out against him, or in the government you stood against him and you opposed him. And on day one, they're coming to get you.
Oh, that sounds like Putin. Putin does the same shit.
Who you think he idolizes the most? Not his daddy, not his mother.
Mm-hmm. Putin.
Putin.
And it's
We better watch what we say because this is going up.
and I've been on a roll. What's today? Thursday? For the Thursday and yesterday. I'm not afraid. I've been shaming every Latino because your ancestors, I hope they smack the dog shit out of you every time you try to call on upon them. Because what Native Americans, I hope they smack the dog shit out of you too. Because y'all just voted for something that literally wiped y'all out in the first time around. And now we're getting all these wildfires and storms coming in. Man,
I there's this dude on TikTok, right? Shannon Raffield Raffield.
Airfield.
This dude's the most accurate meteorologist I've ever seen. And even he was on Today Live following a storm that's brewing up in the Gulf and was saying, yo, the way this storm, I've never seen nothing like this before. Like the way the waves are moving and the way things are moving with this storm, it's like the storm has a life to it. And he just couldn't comprehend what he was looking at. Now, mind you, this is a live screen. We're all looking at it. And he was like baffled. And I was like, yeah, that's I'm sorry. He even said at one point he was starting to believe that maybe storms are being produced by countries and stuff. Because of the way the storm is like it took a turn and then I don't know. The way he was describing it was wild.
Mm-hmm.
But back to possession. Let's get to the topic, right?
Okay.
Possession. Yes, possession is real. What the hell?
Uh, my question is, because I wrote it down. I was like, possession is real. I love possession movies. I used to be scared of them, but now I love them because it's only the only reason I was scared because I used to have dreams where I used to do exorcisms on possessed people in dreams. So that's the reason why I used to scare. But now I'm fine, I'm cool with it. But my thing is, how does one become possessed by either a demon or a dark entity? Like, how do one becomes possessed?
First, it starts with an ego
Mm-hmm.
because you literally edge God out and you make yourself God. I don't need God to do this for me. I can do it myself. Well, is God real? Okay. Those are usually the first people that are targeted. Okay, yes, there are dark forces. There's evil. If you don't believe in evil, then you don't believe in air.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you breathe air, there's evil breathing around you. Don't believe me? Turn your TV off, turn a night light on behind you, and sit in the dark and watch. See, a lot of people they don't believe it because it doesn't happen to them or they don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you don't want to see it. But if you really want to see something, you really want to learn something, just put enough energy into it and watch what manifests. Possessions are real. I've seen them myself. It's a weakness that's targeted. A lot of times people that get possessed come off like they're mental when they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Like you ever see somebody walking down the street and they talking to themselves? You really believe they're talking to themselves?
No.
Schizophrenia is not just a person hearing voices in their head. That's not what it is. Scientifically, that's what they diagnosed it as. And I'm telling you, I drove for the city of Haverhill in Massachusetts. I drove disabled people back and forth from home to work or to doctor's appointments, wherever. And I met all different classifications of disabled people, whether it was physically, mentally, emotionally, but disabled in general. And I came across a few people who were labeled as autistic and schizophrenic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And being that I had to do a sociology class, I studied a lot about mentality. Listen, those are some of the most spiritually talented people I've ever come across. As a matter of fact, I know a Santero who has Down syndrome. And this man went through the ringer of life. Not only were you born with a disability, you gain disabilities along the way. You caught cancer. Leukemia is cancer of the blood, right? Yeah, leukemia.
Yeah.
And beat it, beat it. I mean, beat it like nothing. Yeah, it took his hair, but he was always bald anyway. He always shaved his head, so it didn't really matter to him. You know what I'm saying? And one of the most spiritually talented, in your face, movies type results of spiritual and magical shit this kid could do. And I only call him a kid because he's younger than me, but he's a grown man. But again, Down syndrome, and still people was like, nah, he's just saying shit. He's just the R word. Nah, bro, listen to what he's saying though.
Mm-hmm.
And he even told one dude, yo, you're gonna break your hand, man. Don't play with balls. You play too much with balls. This idiot thought he was talking some sexual shit, and he wasn't. So dude goes bowling. Bowling. You hear me? Bowling. And his thumb gets stuck in the bowling ball. So when he goes to launch the ball, and he broke this bone up to here was broken. They
Mm.
had to they had to put his hand in this wild shit, and he had screws in it to hold it in place like this so it could heal the right way. Then he had to do this other thing. It was this dude went through hell, and I was like, you see, you called him a Riri, and
Mm.
look at you now. You look like Luke Skywalker after he got his hand cut off by Darth Vader. And real talk, it dude did not learn his lesson.
Still playing with them balls.
And what really happened to him, and what really ended up, he fucked with the wrong girl, and he didn't know she was on methadone when he got pregnant, and his baby came out with Down syndrome. And of course, him being the macho man that he is, wouldn't take the blame for it and said it was his fault. Instead, he left her with the kid and had nothing to do with them ever again after that day because the baby was disabled. Which I think he would have done the same shit either way, but
Yeah.
wow.
And also, with the whole schizophrenic thing, a lot of them have religious, I'll say paranoia, or they think of religious stuff. Like it was schizophrenic, so they have religion. I call them religious episodes. I don't know. I forgot what the actual technical term it is, but they will have religious episode where some of them be like, "God's talking to me," and or I could be like, it's weird. It's very very weird.
See, that's the wild thing though, because you know The Exorcist was a real story, but the only difference is the movie was a girl, the character was a girl, but in real life it was a
As a
boy.
boy. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that was the first documented case that we publicized, and it was a real story. In the Amityville, yes, I do believe that those kids were possessed,
Mm-hmm.
and they did what they did. How do you go from clear-minded to psychopathic?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a switch that flicks on and off. It's a relocation of your spirit. You ever wake up in the middle of the night and you're looking at your hands? Did that never happen to you? Where you wake up and you're looking around and you're looking at yourself like, is it me? Am I here?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's not you.
Mm.
It's just a portion of you what you remember right before you were kicked out your own self. See, when we sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the most vulnerable time when you're sleeping. Because when you sleep, the human body is imitating death. Your shallow breathing, your heart rate slows down, and you're in a state of s- death, stillness.
Mm-hmm.
Your soul gets up and walks away. And if you're spiritual or not, regardless, it's not your mind rethinking situations. And it's been scientifically proven. You think the government literally hasn't looked into possession as a weapon or a tool?
They look into everything. They look into remote viewing, everything.
Okay, so and from what we're taught in the religion, possession can happen to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't just happen to spiritual people. It does happen to a lot of weak-minded people. But those are usually those people who they can't find their place in life and they question everything. And then they wait for an answer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it starts.
So not to make this a race thing, I've noticed a lot of people who do become possessed or have some type of
I'm
oppression
laughing because I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead.
from dark entities are white. Here and there, some of them are black and Spanish. But majority of them are white.
Because they look into the mystics and the unknowns. They look into the enchanting things of different cultures and stuff like that. But they're the ones that open the door and you don't open that door. Why not, man? What's in here? Nigga, if I said don't open the door, obviously I'm telling you there's something in there,
Yeah.
right? Or that stupid insurance commercial where they got a car running and instead of running to the car, they run into the chainsaw shed. Well, the chainsaws are hanging. Curiosity of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Let it stay unknown. And I'm saying this for a reason. All right, so I'm 49 and I'm supposed to have some way here. But I've had this shit since I was in my late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I can recall situations where I don't remember what I did or where I was, and I wasn't under the influence, nor was I intoxicated. And I did things or things happened, and I was like, but I did that? I've had to question my sanity till I was told, listen, the Egun want to be alive again.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can take the chance of pushing your ass out to get in the driver's seat, they will. And instead of you being a pony, they just take you over. Now there's three times there's three situations where you are at your most vulnerable. When you're suicidal,
Mm-hmm.
when you're in a coma, or when you're asleep. Three keys as to when you're at your most vulnerable. Because you're at your weakest. If you're suicidal, you gave up.
Yeah.
You're ready to go. And again, I say this, all the dead want are to be alive again. Now you don't gotta be spiritual, you don't gotta be where I'm at. Just give it a thought. Think about it. Think about it hard.
Mm-hmm.
You're on your way home from work. You pull out the driveway of your job. You head down the road for 2 seconds and boom, lights out. Lights out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize you're gone. and you're mad and you're confused and you're angry, you'll do whatever it takes to find the first weak source to jump into to be alive again, right? Because you'll
Mm-hmm.
feel shorted. You feel, and remember when you die, you can die with memories. There are intelligent spirits.
Yeah.
So yes, you do die with memories, and you die with a hollowness. I'm gonna call it,
Mm-hmm.
to where you didn't feel like nobody could ever say they finished out their life the right way, because everybody always had plans for tomorrow.
Yep.
Nobody ever thought tomorrow's my last day, so today I'm just gonna call it what it is. Unless you were gonna take your own life. And even the church has acknowledged that being ready to go is not a sin.
Mm-hmm.
They labeled it a mental weakness, but that's not it either. Sometimes the deck could talk you into it.
Yeah.
There are people that have jumped off roofs or drove into trees or pulled the trigger on themselves. Not because they chose to, because something told them to. See,
Mm-hmm.
but they can't tell you that's what happened because they ain't here. Now you could take it from the word of somebody who's seen some crazy shit, or you could call it for yourself and see what happens. But take my word for it. Don't call it for yourself. Like I've seen. Put it to you like this: they were growing up. There was a lady in the neighborhood who was the go-to. And when you went into her house and you sat down in her living room, she had a whole bunch of shit up, craziest things you could see. And one in particular thing she had was a deer, a deer's head on the wall. That
Mm-hmm.
always had a cigar in its mouth that was lit. And this thing was smoking this cigar. So I get invited up one day and I go with her son and with a few of the fellas on the block. And I sit down on his sofa and I'm not trying to move because I know where I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I look up and this deer just looked at me. And I was like, yo, dude, I don't want to say the kid's name. I was like, yo, dude, for real, did that just happen? And he was like, yeah, man, nobody believes it. It's possessed. There's a spirit in that deer head.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, nah. And when that thing moved, everybody ran. No, no, there was a room full of niggas. Everybody ran out here. I was included in that. Everybody ran part, by the way. And it threw me to like I wanted to know more. So I literally went to the church like 3 weeks in a row and donated to the basket just so I could ask the priest a question. Is possession real? You know what he told me? Best that you don't want to find out. And I from that point on, it was like, yeah, I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know about it. Till I'm gonna say I was in my 30s and somebody came to me, I kid you not, they was possessed. And here's listen to what I'm saying, because it's not gonna sound real, but it is.
Mm-hmm.
So they come to me and they say, yo, I don't feel myself. And I hear something inside myself. And I'm scared for myself. I said, well, then let's clean you. Simple. No, it wasn't that simple. Proceed to clean the person, and I grab a bird. And I tell them to put their hands out, put the bird in their hands. So I want you to hold this and place it against your forehead. And I want you to hold it. I want you to pray that whatever it is that's inside of you that it leave and it go into this bird's body so that we can dispose of it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He does the prayer, he does what he does, and when he hands me this thing, my whole body was electrified. And I grabbed it the way I'm supposed to, and I was like, oh hell no. I literally put this thing in water and,
Mm-hmm.
and it wouldn't die. I pulled it out the water and I did what I had to do to it. This thing flew away. But not like a pigeon or a dove one of them birds that go real far, real fast. No,
Yeah.
it just like it was maybe like 3 feet off the ground, and it went about 100, maybe 150 feet from us. I had never seen that before. Maybe every now and then the bird, the bird would trigger out on the floor, and 5 seconds later, it was a deal.
Yeah.
No, this thing flew away from us. But when it stopped, wherever it did in the dark, wherever the hell it did stop, it literally sounded like growling, but
Mm,
like a big beastly animal growling at us. And dude was totally a different, even his, believe it or not, I don't care. I know what happened. This dude's whole complexion, structure of his face, everything changed. And everybody that was there thought it was a joke that he was like, yo, what happened? What happened? What's going on? He did not know himself.
that's
And
crazy.
then after a few minutes, that he caught himself, he was like, oh yeah, I remember, yo, are we good? We good? Yeah, nigga, you real good. Yo, after that, I ain't sleep for like 2 weeks. Because the only thing I did wrong was the exiting.
Mm-hmm.
And see, I'm a man. I could admit when I was wrong. And the exiting, you're supposed to do things to block. But you took off of this person from coming after you.
Yeah.
I was so hyped about what happened, I forgot. And then I was in my 30s, so I was a heavy, heavy smoker. So right afterwards, we started blazing, and I forgot. So for 2 weeks, I could hear this thing outside of my house calling me. And I was like, nah, yo, nah, 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 nah.
He
I
wants
don't know what
smoke.
I don't know what you want, but it ain't me.
He want to throw the heads.
There's like I said in the last episode, I seen a lady swallow an egg and turn into a snake.
Mm-hmm.
This lady slithered around a 3 bedroom apartment like a snake. So yes, possession is real. Some of these movies, a little kooky, a little out of hand.
Yeah.
But for the most part, yes. And if you really want to get down to seeing truth to things, watch that show Evil on Netflix.
Well, I was just watching that last night. I had to turn it off because I was like, it's too close to comfort for me.
It really that and the HBO show 30 Coins.
30 coins is good. They didn't, they canceled it.
Yeah, but
I'm mad
but
about that.
but it is touching a lot of truth that it shouldn't have.
It's funny because, well, the last dream I had of me doing an exorcism was really when I woke up after that dream and I was like, "Say, Michael, I can't do these dreams no more." I was like, "Yeah, you gotta handle it, brother." But the dream was that I was doing an exorcism. It first started, I was with another family and I was doing exorcism on them, whatever. And I cleaned them. Did exorcism. This was a dream I had probably like a year or two ago. I did the dream, I did the exorcism, whatever. So then I get a call and someone was like, "Hey, you need to do another exorcism. It's important." It's like I was like, "Okay, whatever." So I walk into the house and I had looked like at the because some houses they have like the little table where you put the keys in. So I had looked and I had seen my I think it's my romance angel deck on the counter. And I looked at it, I was like, what's this doing here? And I was like, and I picked it up in a dream because I'm very lucid in dreams. And I picked it up and looked at it, I was like, this is my deck because I know the box is all dinged up and everything. I was like, this is my deck. What is it doing here? So I put it back down and keep walking, I walk up these little mini stairs and I get to the living room. And this guy is in the chair. They have him tied up in the chair. And I'm looking at him. He goes, "Oh, you don't remember me?" And I was like, am I supposed to? Because I do a lot of exorcisms. And he goes, "You don't remember me?" And I was like, "No, I don't." And he goes, "I told you I'll be back." And
Now pause right there. Remember that I told you the egg will know the past, the present, and the future.
mm-hmm.
That's the way in. Do
Yeah.
you remember me? The minute you start going through your memories, they already know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they can pick up like with the yo, something's pulling my headphone. With the what you call it? With the Ouija board.
Yeah.
it they will answer things truthfully and untruthfully. It's all about the energy you're gonna dispense. When you trying to seek the truth in yourself, you burn a lot of energy, spiritual energy. When you lie, you burn a lot of spiritual energy. But when you're in fear of the unknown, that's the ultimate energy. You heard my phone?
Yeah.
That's the ultimate energy. And that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And real talk, evil loves weakness.
Mm-hmm.
There are evil forces out there. And a lot of people don't believe in it. This shit, a lot of people don't believe in God nowadays. You can't go 5 pages on TikTok scrolling
Mm-hmm.
without finding one that God isn't real.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think God isn't real because, the election and who got voted in, so they think God isn't real. Listen, God is real. But you know what's bigger than God and real, more realistic?
But
Stupid fucking mistakes as human beings we keep making.
mm-hmm.
And the Bible said it. The next one, we're gonna die by our own hands. You know?
It's funny
And
you
and
said that
and
too.
and it makes the sacrifice of Jesus look like nothing.
Yep.
Like we don't respect nothing. Not because, like I said, when you stoke enough fear into people, you could get possessed.
Mm-hmm.
That's not only spiritually, it's mentally too. And that man stoked fear into people that if he wasn't elected, things were gonna go crazy in this country. They're about to get worse. It's
Yeah.
about to go more crazy.
That's mother look on
I
his.
can't help but to go back to it because, like I said, they showed 15 clips of this dude in concession. And it was like watching a different person every time. Like, yo, does that nigga got Legion inside of him?
Most likely. Most
Because
likely.
Legion is many.
And,
Many.
and when he was doing first, I want to point this out.
Wait, and to pour, not to cut you off, I apologize, but going back to possessions, I have a box from the church that a priest gave to me as a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And it has all the original items for to conduct the exorcism.
Ooh, cool.
But it was used.
Mm-hmm.
And because it was used, I have to put it in between two Bibles for it to not give off that
Energy.
was used energy.
Yeah.
Because I myself had it in my house, inside the house. Now it's not, now it's in my church outside, away from the house. And there's a reason for that. Because like we were talking about, do spirits watch you when you have sex?
Yeah.
That jump they jump in on it too. They take some of that energy too. That's the best energy. That's life on life. You know what I'm saying? And when you have spiritual stuff in your home, you're also a target.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we do good. I won't lie to you in Santeria, you have 80% of what you own is positive and it's good and it's angelic, we'll call it. We'll
Mm-hmm.
label it angelic. And that 20%, believe it or not, there's 20% that you have that's bad because
Yeah.
we need to use it. We need to own it. We need to know how to use it because when somebody comes to you that got it was used on them, you have to know how to fight it, how to fix it, put the person's spirit back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a part of the crazy glue of spirituality.
Yeah.
And if you tell me you a santero or babalao and you don't got nothing of witchcraft or negativity with you, you a liar.
Mm-hmm.
We all got it. We're all giving it. Maybe I'm giving up a secret, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Was it somebody I saw today on TikTok? A girl said it. I just forgot the word for it. It's the word for character.
Guapale?
Yes, there it goes, Iwapale. And she was saying because she was talking about that there's a lot of babalaos, orishas, even santeros that have bad Iwapale because they voted for Trump.
That's an opinion. That's her
Mm-hmm.
opinion. That because you voted for him doesn't give you bad character. It gives you bad judgment,
Mm-hmm.
but not bad character. Everybody wants to see a change. Yo, shit's been out of control. You know what I'm saying? Food prices, gas prices, housing prices,
And it's go
racism.
up.
It's been out of. We're about to learn a valuable lesson in choice.
But like I was gonna say, I know a mass
Deportation.
collective, not a mass deportation, I'm not going there. A mass collective of us on election night at 4 a.m. felt that energetic shift. Whether you was
I had I literally in around that at that time
mm-hmm,
had someone come in that was belligerently drunk, call me a freaking Puerto Rican, try to grab me, and I was like, oh shit, I'm about to lose my job. It took everything in my spirit to compose myself not to jump over that counter. I even put my hands down on the counter to see if I had the strength to jump over that shit. And 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 another person take a shit in the bathroom on the floor. It was like what it was it the election? And it felt weird when I left. Usually I leave and I'm out at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So
mm-hmm,
I'm on my way home at that time. And it's only like a 5 minute drive from there to here, to my house. And I come through a back road, and it's a
yeah.
real dark back road, but it leads me to the main road to bring me home. I get on this road. You hear my phone, right? I call it my confirmation box.
Meanwhile, you saying that somebody's behind me walking, and I'm just like, okay, because it came from
And
this side.
and, and I'm looking out the I'm looking forward, and
Mm-hmm.
I saw somebody standing on the side of the road. So at this point, it's dark outside. It's foggy. I'm like, yeah, I know what that was. I literally get maybe like 2 minutes, not 2 minutes, maybe like a minute past where I saw this person.
Mm-hmm.
And there's literally a person on the corner, a physical person standing there that looked exactly the same. And I was like, were they telling me be careful because this person was going to be standing in the dark by the stop sign? I come down the road, I make a right. All I got to do is come straight down the road and I'm on my way home.
Mm-hmm.
The light had just turned green. I'm getting ready to go under the light and it turns yellow. Now I'm like, wait a minute, the light just turned green. How's it turning yellow? As soon as I get through that intersection, I'm a quarter of the way to turning to my road, and a freaking truck hits the car next to me. And it was like the yellow light was like warning,
Yeah.
yield, slow down. And I literally slowed down. And the mail truck hit the car next to me. And I was like, holy shit. So I see a Agung as I'm driving down the road. Then I see the real person standing on the corner. And then I turn that corner and make a right turn and
Mm-hmm.
go straight. And as I'm going straight, the light's green. It turns green as I'm coming close to it. And as soon as I get under it, it flips yellow and boom. It was like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I've been lately having, well, I've always had very vivid dreams and stuff like that. So the night of election, I didn't sleep until mind you, I was up from 7 a.m. until 2 p.m. the next day. Like, I couldn't sleep. The energy was weird. I couldn't sleep at all. So the next day being Wednesday, I didn't go to sleep until I took an hour nap. I probably say from 2 to probably hour and a half, 2 to 3:30. And in my dream, I'm on top of my lungs screaming, Kamala, do not concede. And she's on the podium about to like announce that she conceded. And I'm screaming, do not concede, do not concede. And I'm running towards her. And she goes, I concede. And as soon as she does that, boom, bombs, smoke with fire. So, and I'm sitting there like this. I woke up and I was like, we're about to be in war.
Hmm.
Whether it's physical war or
I
spiritual.
feel bad for Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even gonna say it because it's like it's coming. is if you've ever watched a movie like that, like White House Down or the White House is what is that?
The one with Channing Tatum.
No, 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 no. The one with Gerard Butler.
Um,
Did
Olympus Fallen,
huh?
Olympus Fall, something like that.
Yeah, they oh my God, yo. It's real. It's real. This is like my dad growing up, my dad would say, yo, the end of days is coming, stick to your kind. The race war's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And this was something they told him in the World Fair back in the 50s, in the 60s, that the end of the world was gonna come or some shit like that. And it was gonna be a race war. And yo, this nigga had a freaking Nazi rally in Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ashamed to say that we subcontracted towards security there. I don't even want to talk about that shit no more. Cause I'm like, wow, of all places, yo, of all places, New York City allowed him to do this.
Yep.
And since then, twice I've been called a fucking Puerto Rican. Cause it's only his stupid little fucking joke. Let me explain to you something. You can call me whatever you want to call me. I don't give a fuck. But if you try to put your hands on me, that's a different story. I'm
Mm.
gonna defend myself. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck if you're a priest. I don't care if you're a nun. I don't care who you are. If you put your hands on me, you gotta defend yourself. That's how I was raised and brought up, and that's how I'm gonna die. And if I die defending myself, I'm gonna die defending myself for the right reasons.
Yep.
Out of control. This is. I'm not gonna say the end of times, man. It's just the end of democracy in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's over. We had
And
a good 100 plus years, 140 plus years of running, but this next Independence Day, don't like fireworks. Buy food, buy water. Get yourself together because it's coming.
mm-hmm. And it's not. And it sucks too because a lot of people think we're only experiencing war on the physical aspect, but a lot of spiritual people, like me and you and other people, we know we're facing two fronts of a war. Not only spiritual, I mean, not only physical, but spiritual also.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about too. There's a spiritual war coming, like I said, and just that I predict it, is that it's been a talk that's been going around this last year.
Mm-hmm.
24 and 25 is going to be a off year for all spirituality, all forms of spirituality, all forms of religion in general.
Mm-hmm.
This next 20, just 2025 alone is the start of it. Okay, we're only in 2024. So till 2028, if we don't choose another route, I don't see us lasting for long.
And we have to because, like I said, at 4 in the morning, I know everybody felt that shift. I as soon as that shift hit, I had the urge to pull cards, and it's weird because I never pulled cards in this format. I did it 4, 3, 2, 1. So basically, and the way I did it, the way I was told to read it was the first two cards, which I never remember cards because I barely remember doing readings unless I write them down or record them and put them on YouTube. Because every time I do tarot, I don't remember what I say. But in this particular, the first card was a hangman, the second card was a 6 of cups. And I'm like, there's something that we missed in the past that we didn't catch. So then the next card was the 7 of cups with the moon. And I'm like, there's a lot of shit being hidden from us. And the way that they
Well, well, and this is real talk. The government always has its own agenda.
mm-hmm.
Regardless of who the fuck you vote for on election day, the government always has its own agenda.
Yeah.
And and if and if you want to know what the agenda is, I'm paint it for you real quick. The government is Jeff Dunham and Trump is his puppets.
Oh yeah.
Period. Period. These people did not elect Trump because they respect his ideas and his ideals. They elected him because he's a fucking puppet.
Yep.
They're gonna put their hand up his ass and use them. Don't nobody fear him. All you got to do is stroke his ego, and that man loves you.
Mm-hmm. And
And I'm in the worst place to be talking about it because Florida's red. Florida's red for Trump. I'm surrounded by Trump supporters. And real talk, I don't give a shit. I was surrounded by worse in New York. And I'm not only talking about people, I'm talking about spiritually too.
mm-hmm.
It was even worse in Massachusetts. So you think Florida's any different? Listen, again, I say this was not our land. We stole this land. And the
Yep.
repercussions of all those millions of spirits coming back to fight us, all of us. If
Yep.
you ain't got Indian in your blood, you're in trouble.
Yep.
And we're gonna turn on ourselves. We're gonna turn on each other. You think it's wild out there now?
Oh, they already started talking about it. I've seen a lot of black creators say we gotta stick to our own community and stuff like that. And it's like,
I
well,
remember not weeks ago a man in Walmart telling a transgender woman can't wait for Trump to get elected so we can hunt your asses down. I really feel for the fear for those.
mhm. But so that was the first one. The second row was the three cards, which was the Nine of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. And I'm like, damn, we're gonna have a struggle, and it's gonna fall on the backs of women, not just the backs of women who are people of color, all women. And
Look, look in the look when he was giving his victory speech
I didn't
at
even.
his daughter's face. She looked so disgusted. I don't care what nobody said. His daughter looked like, oh shit, I feel bad for women. Y'all gonna get the shit end of the stick on this one. And you
Mm-hmm,
are. You are. So the best thing women better learn is either take birth control or wear condoms. But you better not get pregnant
mm-hmm,
and don't have any reproductive issues whatsoever.
yep. And
Because you will not be seen.
and the third one was the Four of Pentacles with the Fool. In order for us to get the Fool, what the Fool represents with brand new, we have to leave behind the patriarchy, which also falls into the last card being the Two of Swords, because a lot of women, especially white women, because y'all like to be voting with the patriarchy, are gonna have a hard time dropping the patriarchy for this new beginning. But I do feel like they will do it.
Listen,
It's really bad for them.
I'm gonna predict this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to talk about politics, but possession is a big part of politics.
Because it's
The
bringing.
devil looks for targets. The devil looks for targets that are weak, so that those targets could become his puppets, so that he can inject himself into our everyday lives.
Mm-hmm.
Period. After this mass deportation bullshit he's gonna pull, the next thing you better watch out for is the purge.
I don't get my fucking gun license.
I can't use the government any more than I already have to get rid of those that I don't want here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just turn them on each other and let them do it themselves.
Yep.
And that's real talk. You see, there's a lot of other countries out there that have it way worse as far as political and the laws, and but it's about to all be here.
It's funny you said that because I was scrolling and I came across this guy from Poland. This is why I love TikTok, and I'm so mad that it's gonna get banned in January. That's why I don't really be posting it. I'm like, to me, what's the point of posting? Because it's gonna get banned now.
Hmm.
But there's this guy from Poland. I guess the Poland elections are a little bit after hours or at the beginning of next year. I don't know exactly when their election is. But he was saying that after 2016 election, his government, which is basically what his government's going went through 8 years ago, is what
We
America.
about to, yeah.
So there's this party called the Peace Party. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but it's peace, and they controlled all branches of the government. For 8 years, they did propaganda on their TV shows. They did a full blown abortion ban. They got rid of gay marriage. They got rid of safe zones for gay people. It took him 8 years to reverse an ounce of that. And it's only because the current president is still part of the peace party and wouldn't sign any bills that benefit everybody else. And I'm listening to him talk, and I'm like, this is America right now. And
Yep.
he said specifically, he goes, the reason why this happened to my government is because America, which I don't understand why we're so influential when we're a third world country with a Gucci belt on.
Mm,
Once Trump got elected in 2016, a year later, his government modeled their campaign after Trump.
hmm.
Now that Trump got elected, currently, a German lady came on TikTok and she said that the prime minister of Germany just said there's no more German government.
Now listen to this too. Everybody that was on the Harris campaign, all the celebrities, all the special speakers, watch your shit. Watch your
Oh,
six.
then they're coming after Beyonce.
Watch your ass. What? And listen.
She out here doing.
Again, this whole topic of this episode has been possession. Whether we've gone into political talk or other country talk, it's all about possession because the devil possesses those that are weak minded.
And Trump is weak minded.
And if you don't think the devil's real, test the waters.
I don't know. It says I know damn what it is.
And I mean, I'm already done been through shit like I don't want to this shit.
I'm I'm 34 years old. I've been through every historical crisis that can be. I don't remember not having a historical crisis since 2001, 9/11. Anything after that, it was always some type Boston bombings, the UK stadium bombing. I
Listen,
remember the
not
UK bombing.
I went to high school in a year, and I'm not gonna say what year. We all know I'm old, but in a year where that metal detectors first made their way to high schools. Okay,
Mhm.
when have you heard of a mass shooting in a New York high school?
Never.
Meanwhile, the high schools I'm talking about, the high schools I talk about, they're in the hood.
Hmm. I think Truman still got their metal detectors up.
What? Roosevelt, Truman, all them schools. Because the kids, the youth who are so impressionable
Bingo.
are the ones that are carrying the weapons. You got teenagers going to jail for mass murders, for double homicides.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? One teen over here in Florida stabbed a girl 147 times. What makes you want to stab somebody
I was like,
147 times?
I mean, one or two is for 100. That's over.
Even one or two ain't fine. There gotta be some shit that went down.
Yeah, but 100 and what, 42, 47?
That's
That's
possession.
that is
That's
possession.
not
That's
that
overkill.
you walk into a school and you kill a bunch of kids. There's a possession involved.
Hmm.
It's not just that person, and I'm telling you, it's not just that person's worldviews or
Or
political
mental
views.
ill. Like I'm.
Stop blaming shit like that. Think about it. Real talk. You take a child and you take the child out of them, and then there's an aggressive adult in that child's body. It's a form of possession.
Think about what's his name? The guy from the 60s, Charles Manson.
Now, see, now you hit us. Now you hit the final nail because this is the last thing we're gonna talk about. Mass murderers
Hmm.
like John Wayne Casey,
Zodiac killer.
the clown killer. He, he had wrote papers that they kept that were from his cell that he said I was listening to other voices.
Hmm.
You really think that he wasn't listening to other voices? It was an excuse to try to get out of murder? No.
And it's so crazy that his psychiatrist has a piece of his brain, his actual brain in her refrigerator. Ma'am, you're bugging. That's nasty.
But the thing with it is too that it's not just a mental defect. It's not just a psychological defect. It's a spiritual defect.
Hmm.
And yes, there's people that they're villainous and evil and they die and their spirit ends up somewhere else in a whole nother different platform, not their ancestral platform, but a whole nother different platform. And they end up reincarnating as another killer some other day, some other time.
Mm-hmm. Child killers. That's how a lot of these.
You see a guy, that guy here in I think it was in Texas or Florida, that him and his wife were gonna, his wife was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
He had 3 kids or 4 kids, and then he starts dating this girl, and something in him snaps, and then he kills his whole family and puts their bodies in glue things where he works in these refineries. And you think that that was just a choice? He saw it in a movie or TV? No, that's a spiritual defect. You
Mm-hmm.
have a disconnect to God at that point. And nobody knows whether, because it doesn't matter to him no more. He's in jail forever. They're
Yeah.
gone. But you think those people you killed, they don't come back to haunt you?
Oh
They
yeah.
don't come back to take possession of you, to show you a punishment? Listen, when you have no belief in God and you have no belief in love, you have nothing. You're an empty vessel already. And I feel for us, man. I really do. As a whole, as a people, I feel for us. It's, if you think it's expensive now to live, it's about to get worse.
Tariff. Y'all need to go Google and search that because a lot of y'all don't know what the hell that is. Import taxes that the companies don't pay. Us Americans, us consumers, we pay for tariff. And a simple Google search would have had that happen, but y'all like to listen to
And he
that.
gonna give he's gonna give Russia what Russia's wanted for years and years and years, to move up on the list of world powers, to move up on the list of GDP holders. I'm telling you, this is all a political game.
Alaska about to.
And we're the pawns in this.
Mm-hmm.
The poor man is going to suffer if you're struggling now to pay your bills and to stay ahead and to keep food in your fridge and in your pantry. And you think you're gonna eat better because Trump is president? Wait till the 21st.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing you're gonna say after the 21st on the 22nd is this Russia? Watch, mark my words. I've been right so far, right?
Yep. And it's funny because statistically, all these people that say I'm tired of the people, the minorities taking advantage of the welfare. Majority of them are white folks on welfare. Abortions, majority of them are white women. Abortions. We are getting the punishment
Yeah,
because
but it's only by a small percent because black women are right behind them. Sorry.
yeah,
Minorities are right behind them with abortions, right
but
behind.
I'm just like, yo, it's you have to be in such, I don't know, I say denial. It's when you froze, I just saw a whole face right here on the white side. Uh,
Mm.
and I'm just like, there's something up here. Like I understand people a little crazy, and if you're crazy, you could tell other people's level of crazy. You have to be an immense, either extremely crazy to be so out of touch with reality and what's going on. And I'm gonna like that's my go-to because at this point, ignorance is not a blessing. It's not something it's common. It's a choice, and you got to be batshit crazy to be okay with this. And I feel like a lot of people are not enough. Not enough people are angry, especially women are not enough angry. Y'all sitting here and really,
Nah, I don't think that's it either. I think that
maybe because I'm a fighter, I can't take.
I'm sorry. I'm a man and I'm gonna say it for real.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of dumbass niggas out there that voted for him because he's not her. And they didn't want a woman as a president. And let me tell you something, the stupidest things was said. Oh, what if she's on a period and another country wants war and she don't feel like
We
doing
go to work
anything?
on a hold on. As a woman, we go to work on our periods every day. We show up on our periods.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the misogyny of this country just took over. Sorry, real talk.
It is. It did.
And I like I said, I respect women of power. That's how we was raised. The women were they run the family. They ran the family.
Mm-hmm.
The men were just the pawns that went to work, gave up their paycheck, and did what they had to do, period.
Mm-hmm.
But on that note, next episode, we're gonna go live.
Okay.
We're gonna go live and we're gonna keep what we said. You subscribe and you like, and you get one question. If it turns into a whole reading for you, it does, but you get one question. Something of importance, something of value to you as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
We can help you fix that crack or that void. And we'll both do two styles of readings. And if you come in the room and you like and you subscribe, then you get a reading. You get
Yep.
one question. But if you like, subscribe, and donate, you get a whole reading. It's the best way to say it. And
Mm-hmm.
on that note, I wish you all the best of luck and love in the next couple of weeks. We'll
Mm-hmm.
be back next week, but listen here, listen here. I hope if we learned anything from this last few days is I hope that you comfortable with your decisions because we all gonna pay for it. Not just you, not just me, us. We all gonna feel it. And I hope I'm wrong. In this one, I've never wanted to be wrong. I've always been like, oh, my accuracy is my importance. I hope I'm wrong on this. And I hope we do succeed and we move up and
Yep.
things get better. But I don't see that. And if anything happens to that man, don't think JD Vance is gonna be anything better for us.
He's worse. With him and his damn.
That is a chupapinga to the third power.
Mm,
Okay. And if the eyeliner didn't give it away, I don't know what would give it away. But I don't got a gaydar. My gaydar don't work because I be
oh,
wrong about
my game
math.
girl dude, that man is on a DL.
Yeah. Well, that's what his couch said. So on that note, stay tuned. Next week we'll be back on the live.
Yes, ladies, stay safe. We got this.
Men, stay warm. It's about to get cold for you.
Buy a pocket pussy.
That's what I was about to say. Get the muscles ready because your decision gonna get you nothing.
Yep. Till next time.
Later.